It's Marvel's Incoming. Incoming number one. Well, there's only going to be one. So all the sites and Marvel were promoting it as the future of Marvel Comics starts here, and Incoming will launch 2020. Well, hey there, this is Perch. Incoming. It's listed as Incoming number one, but it's just Incoming. The way Marvel is capping off 2019, and it is a long comic. I mean, it's basically about 80 some odd pages, and here's the hook. It's $10. So much like Marvel Comics 1000 and 1001. This is a big comic with a bunch of different creative teams. I think I counted 17, 18 creative teams doing little bits of story. So at least it's not just the one page and done. There's usually 3 to 4 pages per section. And this is, once again, Al Ewing is kind of providing the skeleton for this comic. He is providing the intro and the exit and kind of the framing of the story, which features a lot of the Marvel heroes going off and doing things. And in many cases, it's based around kind of a murder mystery, but then some other things come into play, and we hit upon a couple other storylines that aren't part of that murder mystery, but we're touching on just about everything. Unfortunately, as I said, and I'm going to keep coming back to this, it's $10. So the challenge here is, at the end of the day, when you pick up this issue and you read it, what you are reading is a teaser for upcoming storylines. And you might be going, wait a minute, didn't Marvel used to give these things away for free? Well, not completely. Marvel Comics never did a full-blown story like this completely for free, but mostly for free. Event Leviathan was certainly an expensive comic. That was something DC had done. But DC has published these types of books, and they tend to be $1 or really cheap, very quick kind of entrance where this book serves to promote other comics. And the big storylines, as we mentioned, it's a murder mystery. The murder mystery, I mean, spoilers here, but the murder mystery is between a Kree member and a Skrull member that comes later, where they are basically collaborating on creating some peace to... the Kree and Skrull peoples are coming together. Now, unfortunately, some of this makes a little bit less sense in the standpoint of Captain Marvel's currently running something with Vox Prime, and there's been Skrulls and Kree showing up in other comics, but whatever. Maybe that will all get cleaned up here in the next month or so as we head into 2020. But that's the big kind of piece, is we've got the Kree and the Skrull trying to come together as races, and they're going to be united under the banner of Hulkling as their leader for strange reasons, but that's okay. Crowned Emperor Doric VIII. Hulkling is being tasked to lead his united empire of Skrull and Kree peoples to their new homeworld, which is presumed to be Earth. And so we're getting a storyline. We've been promised a big event in 2020 called Empyre with a Y. And this is apparently going to be the Skrull and Kree armies coming to Earth to either take it over, or they want to live there, or not sure what's going on. But hey, we've got Krakoa, so we might as well have some more people move in and maybe form some new islands. I don't know. Anyway, so that goes on, and then there are some other storylines that are basically teased. The one is the idea of a senator is wanting to regulate kid heroes. This is going to be something the champions are going to have to deal with, and everything else. The problem with this is that they kind of want to make it like Civil War Junior, but it's like, hey, kids who are flying around and teenagers with superpowers, maybe we should control them a little bit. It's like not the craziest idea. They kind of want to make this guy a villain, and and Miss Marvel's at least a little bit like the hey, maybe this isn't such a bad idea. What's strange about the writing here is that you get scenes where Riri Williams in panel number 1 is saying, turn the channel. This guy is making me nauseous to my stomach with what he's talking about. And then you go 3 panels later and she's like, damaging property and blowing stuff up, constantly beefing for no real reason is reckless. Maybe the heroes, it's like, hey, pick a side, lady. But... And then, they're bringing in topics like people want safety, but do they realize the price you pay when the people are safe and the liberties that are down? I mean, unfortunately, it's like, yeah, you're a bunch of kids who are playing at being a superhero, and they're, it's like you're younger than people who have driver's license, maybe, but whatever. So we get that. We get a couple teases for some other books, namely the Mr. Sinister bit. Teases the upcoming, not necessarily the core X-Men storyline, but definitely is going to tease the Franklin Richards and X-Men crossover. And Sinister is cloning people. He's definitely kind of defying. This is the Chimera tease that Hickman had done. And also we've got a bit of Joe Fixit, kind of some storylines. It's weird because the Hulk bit that Al Ewing puts together, it is really kind of recapping parts of the Hulk and where his personalities came from, which is what brought a lot of people to the table for Immortal Hulk. But the Immortal Hulk has gone in a completely left turn, no pun intended, of a direction around kind of social justice and tackling the big evil corporations. But as you're reading this, you're like, yes, these are the storylines. This is the dynamic of the book that got people really excited about it. So anyway. So that was almost a going backward in some cases. And then we get teases for certainly the Venom storyline of the Null God coming in, and also the Ghost Rider fighting Mephisto. We're going to have some of that. So I mean, like again, a lot of this comic is about teasing future storylines. The big pieces, and then I guess the other one is the robot revolution that they're going to be playing out in Iron Man 2020. But again, as you're hearing it, the point of all this is that it's a tease for other comics, including that Captain Marvel now has a Batman cave. So, good stuff there. Is this a good idea? No. So sorry. I can say kind of with firm, putting my foot down. This is not a good idea. This is it is not what you should be doing as a comic. It is not, and charging $10 for it. Sorry. Is it a good idea? Sure, it's a good idea to put some previews, get some people excited about the comic, maybe remind people of the bigger Marvel universe and everything that can be done there, and why all these stories do intersect. I'll give. I'm not sure who to give credit to. It's said that Al Ewing was the person, but I think really I have to give credit to the Alana Smith and maybe Tom Brevoort, a little bit Jordan White, the editors who are sewing the different pieces together. Because we have stuff written by Greg Pak, we have stuff written by Jason Aaron, certainly Al Ewing, Kelly Thompson, Chip Zdarsky, and the stuff does flow into itself very, very nicely. Of the side note, the comic leaves off parts in the credits at the end. Unfortunately, there's some people missing in here, so there's some errors, but that's okay. And then the comic wraps itself up with some previews of some of the comics that are coming out and things that are going on. So all fine, but all the same, at the end of the day, incoming is an ad. It's a book of little segments, and if you do not read this book, it's going to get recapped in other books. The Masked Rider as a character is something that I think, I'm not sure if it's Al Ewing or if it's Marvel in general, really excited about this character. I think this is not, it's not a great character, a Western looking character that wears a mask that can duplicate powers. It's just not this is not as an exciting of a character, I think, as people think it is, but okay. And it's $10. It's an ad book that's $10. I'm sorry to keep repeating on this point. My strong feeling is that in like 2 months, Marvel will be offering this book on Comixology for free or for $1 as an entry point to get people in. But for comic shops that ordered in on this, they're going to be a little pissed. And for fans that are paying $10 for this, it's $10. It's just a lot of money for a preview book where majority of what's in here won't really matter. And the little bits that do are going to get recapped in other books in their regular titles that you care about. So on one hand, I very much appreciate, I really do, that Marvel is trying to show this bigger universe, that they're trying to show readers of the X-Men that, hey, maybe there's something going on here in Daredevil or in Fantastic Four that you might be interested in. Hey, this Robot Revolution thing here, maybe you want to jump in on that, so you want to read Iron Man. I think that's a great idea. Charging for it is dumb. Charging $10 for it is super dumb. I guess that's my point. And, certainly would love to see somebody come in and defend that, but I think it's going to be a hard one. That's my feeling. So did you read the issue? What do you think? What was the best part in it? I did like the Immortal Hulk bit. I thought the Mr. Sinister bit was exciting. There's a few things in there I thought that were pretty good. Worst parts, probably, the champion kids talking about the senator. They really want to make that kind of a big deal, some commentary on kind of politicians who overreach and all the rest. But, it's undermined by the fact that, hey, it's Civil War light. And also, hey, they are kids, they can't vote and they don't have driver's licenses. So maybe, I don't know, maybe they shouldn't be flying around blowing crap up, but I don't know, maybe. I guess I'm Team Senator. There you go. That'll make a good armband. Whatever. So what did you like? Leave me a comment below. Check to see if you're still subscribed. A lot of people are getting scrubbed for some reason. Okay. Or my content's been really terrible and they're leaving. One of those two, I'm sure. But like the video and follow me on Twitter at Comic Perch. Thank you for listening.